Just had to open this video showing off my new t-shirt. Spooky Scary Sunday t-shirt. Corey Kenshin is like my favorite YouTuber. And so I ordered a Spooky Scary Sunday shirt because my wife and I have been binge watching those recently. And I was like, I gotta get me one of those shirts. So I ordered one, it finally came in. And so I'm rocking it for this video. But you're not here for my t-shirt. You're here for my next Video Games Monthly unboxing video. Will we finally get retro games in a box? Like an all retro games box to start off the new year, because it's January, got a new box in, and I'm excited to see the contents. I double checked my account. It says I have Nintendo, Super Nintendo, and Sega Genesis checked. I unchecked Xbox 360, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and so hoping to get games. I also unchecked Super Famicom, forgot about that, because I've received several Super Famicom games, but I kind of wanted to, cool off on that for a little bit, see if I can get some games for these other three consoles in. So let's go ahead, dive into the box. Oh, I forgot this part. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Azkhalon. Let's dive into the January 2023 box. First box for 2023. Let's go. All right, for those of you, Gidget, shut up. All right, for those of you who don't know what Video Games Monthly is, Video Games Monthly is a video games subscription service where you can receive 3, 4, 5, or 10 games delivered to your doorstep each month. So you pay a certain amount of money, you choose how many games you want each month, and Video Games Monthly sends them directly to your doorstep. You don't have to go to a store, dig in like old collections like you're at a thrift store or something, trying to find, an awesome game. You get them all delivered to your doorstep. So they come in a box that looks like this. Get that box on camera. I feel like I'm Vanna White sometimes when I'm doing stuff like this. And so you just pop it open, see what's inside. Video Games Monthly, they also send you like little goodies that have to do with video games, like bracelets, stickers, all kind of cool little extra stuff as well. You also have the chance of receiving a 1-up card, meaning you'll get an extra game in your box every month. And I've had Video Games Monthly so far, and this is my 7th box, maybe 6th box, I can't remember. I've received the 1-up card except for 1 box. So let's open this one up and see if we got a 1-up card inside of this one. I don't really care if I do or not. I just want some retro games. This box doesn't seem as thick as my other boxes, so my wish of retro games, I know I keep saying that, might have come true. So let's pop this bad boy open. As always, this is a blind unboxing, meaning I did not look previously at the contents inside. Me opening it up for you on camera is the first time I've seen the contents within. So let's kind of close that box a little bit. So our first thing here is a Video Games Monthly magnetic calendar. I expected this because I watched my buddy Jay's video over at Square Pegs, and he received a calendar in his January box. So cool, got a little Video Games Monthly calendar that I can put on the refrigerator. My wife has a bunch of like Disney like magnets, and she has Christmas cards and different cards like graduation invitations from people that we know. So I'm gonna slap this bad boy on the refrigerator with those things. All right, we got some bubble wrap here, so let's go ahead and take care of that. Get a little poppage action in the microphone for you guys there. All right, enough of that. All right, got some things on top here, some cards. 1-up card, baby, let's go. So I do the 4 games a month box, and so I will have a 5th game in this box. Video Games Monthly has been hooking me up. Nearly every box has had a 1-up card. Thank you, guys. And then our other card here is the Video Games Monthly card, letting you know that if you post your contents to social media, you have a chance of winning, a free game? Or 3 free games. Win 3 games if you post your box to social media. So you have a chance to win those games in your next box. I keep forgetting to do that, even though I make YouTube videos of me unboxing content. Anyways, all right. Ooh, I like what I'm feeling. Me likey. All right, so I got kind of 2 stacks here. There's a smaller stack and a bigger stack. Which one should I start with? Give you a moment to decide. What's that? What are you guys telling me? Lean a little bit closer. I'm about to hit my mic. Anyways, let's start with the smaller stack. They feel like Sega Genesis games, so let's see here. All right, the first game we got is NBA Jam for Sega Genesis. Wow, this box is off to an amazing start. I love this game as a kid. I had it on the Genesis back in the day. The label's coming off a little bit. Hopefully the cartridge is in pretty good shape. So I can't wait to pop this in and play this. This game is so much fun. Like, oh my goodness. Oh man. Retro Gang, got my first Sega Genesis game from Video Games Monthly. So let's pop this bad boy in and relive some memories from my childhood. Let's do it. NBA Jam is a basketball video game developed and published by Midway for arcades in 1993. The game was like a huge success back in the day, so the game was also published on consoles. I'm sure most of you have heard of NBA Jam, but in case you haven't, in the game, it's 2-on-2 basketball, and the game features real digitized likenesses of actual NBA players from the 90s. NBA Jam is known for its exaggerated gameplay. Players can jump extremely high. They can make dunks that are like crazy, like no slam dunk contest in the NBA can compete with NBA Jam. I mean, these dunks defy the laws of physics. Like, there's no other way to explain it. There's no foul, so you can push and shove to get the ball back from an opponent. There are no free throws. The only violation is goaltending. If you jump up, and manage to hit the ball as it's going into the bucket. And there's a 24-second violation. But other than that, it's like street basketball mixed with football. I mean, everything is taken to a whole new level. You do whatever you can to win the game. One cool thing about NBA Jam is that if a player makes 3 baskets in a row, they become on fire, which is kind of like a famous catchphrase, but what it means in the game is you have unlimited turbo and increased shooting precision. But you'll hear, "He's on fire," from the commentators. It's so much fun. The release of NBA Jam and the popularity of it led to future releases of video games for sports that were kind of exaggerated in this arcade style that had fast, action-packed gameplay and exaggerated realism. NBA Jam led to such games like NFL Blitz, MLB Slugfest, NHL Open Ice, and NHL Hits. I mean, this game was just so popular back in the day, and it's just so much fun. I was excited to receive my own copy of the game, but then I quickly realized that it would not play in my Retron 3. I've not given up hope yet, though. I hope to actually own a Sega Genesis in the near future, and so hopefully it'll work on that console, so I'm definitely going to keep this game. This was one I enjoyed so much as a kid. Before the gameplay footage in this video, though, I had to go to YouTube and find some footage so you guys can see what the gameplay is like in case you've never experienced this game before. Game is just so silly, but it is just so much fun. Oh, I miss playing this. Hope I get to again in the near future. Oh man, I just love it so much. The soundtrack is so much fun too. I just love the music. If you've never played this game before, you need to make sure that you can do so, because it's just a lot of fun. I know arcades have kind of made a comeback, so you might find one at your local arcade. All right, well, game number 2, we're going to continue with the small stack, which I feel is another Sega Genesis game. Let me flip it up right. All right, I hope I've marked the Sega Genesis games that I had already, like Street Fighter 2 and stuff like that. But anyways, let's see what we got here. Mrs. Pac-Man for Sega Genesis. So I remember playing Pac-Man when I was a kid in the arcade. There's a local place that's near my house. I don't know if they exist anymore. I'll have to look it up. But I used to go there quite frequently, kind of before the pandemic, and I would play Pac-Man. They had a cool one where it was like, instead of the arcade shell and the screen being straight across from you, you had to look down at it. It was like a tabletop type version of Pac-Man where 4 different players can play. Really fun. So let's pop Mrs. Pac-Man in and play it. Like, I'm very familiar with the Pac-Man games, so this is another awesome pickup. Thank you, Video Games Monthly, Retro Games. I'm so excited. What a good way to start off 2023. Let's dive into it. Mrs. Pac-Man is a 1982 maze arcade video game developed by General Computer Corporation and published by Midway. This game has been everywhere, the arcade and on various different consoles since the 1980s, like Atari, Commodore 64, Game Boy, Super NES, and of course Sega Genesis, which is what I'm playing it on. Most people have heard of this game, definitely, so I don't need a lengthy introduction to it. But Mrs. Pac-Man, of course, is the wife of Pac-Man, and the game is very similar to the Pac-Man games. The player is tasked with eating all of the pellets in an enclosed maze while avoiding the 4 colored ghosts. Eating the larger power pellets lets the player eat the ghosts who turn blue and flee. And so that can really help you out, of course, if you're ever in a crunch and you're trying to escape from the ghosts. Some critics have described Mrs. Pac-Man as superior to the original Pac-Man game, and Mrs. Pac-Man has been listed among the greatest video games of all times, and is one of the most successful American arcade games ever made. I mean, this game is a classic. Like, I was so excited to receive this game in my box. So happy for my retro unboxing that I got to do. I don't know about my young students, but I'm assuming that most people that's watching this have heard of or have played the Pac-Man games. I mean, they're so much fun. It's just crazy how simple this game could be back in the day. But there's a strategy to it, you know? And it can be kind of challenging. I remember, like, when I was a kid, you know, anytime I went to an arcade, just spending hours and so much time playing this game among others, either Mrs. Pac-Man or Mr. Pac-Man, or Mr. Pac-Man, or Pac-Man, depending on what they had available at the arcade I was at. And as I got older and I, you know, started owning consoles myself, I kind of switched to different games and kind of got out of these, you know, scrolling type games, but they're always fun to come back to. And it's just like the nostalgia factor of playing these games. Like, I'm just so thrilled to be playing these types of games again. Like, they're just so amazing. And you just forget how awesome games could be way back in the day, even with limitations on graphics and stuff. Like, I mean, a lot of these retro games, I mean, they force you to think. No, they're definitely challenging. And you would think, you know, sitting down like, no, these games are very easy. They're not as easy as you think they are. And I died multiple times on this game. Playing it for you guys to, you know, record this gameplay footage. So Mrs. Pac-Man, definitely a game I plan on keeping. I can't wait to play more of this and just something I can just pop in whenever I want to play a game, but not really have to overthink, you know, really have to get invested in the story. I can just play it, have fun with it, and then put it down when I'm done and tired of it. One thing I love about arcade games too, like this, is just trying to, you know, achieve the high score. You know, you spend hours and a bunch of quarters just in the arcade, just grinding like kids think that they grind nowadays in video games, trying to trophy hunt and all that stuff. You know, try grinding in an arcade game for hours, trying to achieve that high score and get your initials, you know, on that leaderboard. Like, that's some grinding right there. Takes a lot of patience, a lot of practice, a lot of effort, you know, to get decent at these types of games, to be able to shoot for that high score. And, you know, of course, as you progress in the levels, they get progressively harder and harder and more challenging as well. So that can affect things too. All right, now for the large stack here, we got 3 games. Feels like 2 NES maybe, and 1 Super Nintendo maybe. So we might have gotten at least 1 game from all 3 of those consoles. So let's start with this NES game here. So let's see what we got. Oh man, I can't wait. Like, the first 2 have already like set the bar for this box like really high. So I'm expecting 3 more awesome games, and here we go. Excite Bike, cool. So I was on Twitter recently, and I can't remember if it's somebody that I follow or just, you know, you get random stranger posts, tweets, whatever they're called. Anyways, and they posted like a bunch of Nintendo games with like this similar like animation style, like, you know, the Mario games, the golf game, the hockey game. And they were like, you had to choose 3. I did not choose Excite Bike because, I mean, when you got Super Mario Brothers on there, you got the hockey game, like the NES hockey game was like amazing. You had some of the other games on there like Duck Hunt and stuff. Like, it was hard for me to choose this one. Oh, Track and Field was on there. So, but I remember this game from back in the day. I didn't play it much, so I'm excited to receive this in my box. So let's pop this one in, see if it works, and get into it and have some fun with the gameplay. Excitebike is a side-scrolling motocross racing video game developed and published by Nintendo. It's one of those classic Nintendo sports games that everyone needs to play, like along the lines of like the hockey game from back in the day, the tennis game from back in the day, the golf game. Like, it was just a really cool time getting to play, you know, some of these sports that you may not play in real life in a video game format when the Nintendo first came out. That was really cool that NES included these type of games. Like, I think the hockey game was like the first time I started to get into hockey in my life before later actually watching hockey and playing other hockey video games. Same thing I think with golf as well, because I played the golf game back in the day a lot. I've never been into dirt bikes, motorcycles, and different things like that. If you've seen previous unboxing videos, you know that I've received some motorcycle racing video games that were just kind of alright for me. I prefer car racing games. But Excitebike, of course, you know, NES game, it's gonna be fun. There's just something awesome about old games and just how enjoyable and fun that they are. And I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that you can't save and different things like that. So that makes it a little more challenging. In the game, you have barriers and different things on the track that you can jump up, things that you need to avoid, things that can make you go faster. You can also move your bike up and down on the screen to help you avoid the obstacles that might be in your way. Like, this is definitely a motorcycle game that I could get into. It's just wacky. It's fun. I don't have to really worry about going off the track like I do some of those newer motorcycle games. I like how the track appears. Sometimes, you know, as you're moving forward, you'll have something appear out of nowhere and it's like, whoa, where did that come from? But yeah, Excitebike, not my favorite in the NES sports games. Definitely a classic. Definitely one, you know, you can pop in from time to time, and I feel that you would enjoy, especially if you want to break from, you know, modern racing games, in particular dealing with motocross. All right, it is time. Like, this box has been amazing so far. Oh my goodness. It's time for the next NES game. So let's pull that out, get it right side up for you guys. All right, the bar is still up here. Come on, VGM, don't let me down. Here we go. Woo. Hogan's Alley. Okay, I am not familiar with this one. It seems like you need the light gun, which I don't have. So I may not be able to play this game for you guys. I'll have to maybe go on YouTube and find some footage if I can. But I'm interested to see what this game is about. I've never heard of this one, never played it. So this is the first game in this box that I'm not familiar with. So let's pop it in, or we may not be able to, or let's go to YouTube and find some footage for me to react to. Let's do it. Hogan's Alley is a light gun shooter video game developed and published by Nintendo. It was one of the first hit video games to use a light gun as an input device, along with, of course, the classic Duck Hunt game. The game presents players with cardboard cutouts of gangsters and innocent civilians. The player must shoot the gangs and spare the innocent people. Apparently, the basis for the game is a real-life Hogan's Alley that was a shooting range on the grounds of the Special Police School at Camp Perry, a training facility for the National Guard of the United States. The Special Police School closed during World War II. In 1987, approximately 3 years after the release of the video game, the FBI Academy established a small simulated city called Hogan's Alley to serve as a venue for training operations. Since I do not have a NES and a light gun, and I played my retro games on a Retron 3, I could not record any gameplay footage for this game. So once again, I had to go to YouTube to find you guys some gameplay footage and to check out the game, because I've never played it myself and I was really interested to see what the game is like. So when I get an NES and a light gun in the future, I can decide if I wanted to keep this game or not. This is different than what I expected. I expected them to kind of come towards you, but instead they scroll sideways and then you have like a certain amount of seconds to hit the correct target. So an interesting concept. The waiting in between though was kind of a little annoying for me. I didn't necessarily like that. But it's really cool when they turn and you're like, you gotta be quick shoot the right targets and make sure that you don't shoot the wrong ones. It's definitely interesting though. I'll probably keep it though just for in the future to get the opportunity to play it myself. Like I said, there's a few little things that kind of annoy me with how the characters are presented in the shooting range. So I was curious about the other game modes, and so I decided to check out Hogan's Alley B, and it was more what I expected. The characters kind of pop up in and out, and it's not just them scrolling across sideways. So Game B definitely seems a lot more fun, so I'm glad I checked this out because I was getting a little annoyed and bored with Game A. Yeah, much better. It scrolls you over to some new scenery. You have them pop up along with the civilians, so that's cool. And the gangsters pop up to kind of lure you into like a pattern, and then a civilian to pop up and it's like, oh snap, to make sure I don't fire. So I had to go ahead and check out game mode number 3, the trick shot mode. I really wanted to see what it was working with as well, so I can get, you know, the full range of what the game is like. Let's see trick shot. Oh, so you shoot these barrels to try to get them to land certain places in order to get a score. Oh, okay. This is pretty interesting. So yeah, I'll definitely keep this game for this mode and Alley B. Alley A, I may not try whenever I do get an NES and a light gun because it just annoyed me a little too much. But Alley B and trick shot mode, I definitely want to try in the near future myself and see how I do. This mode, this trick shot mode is really cool. Man, after such an amazing box so far, like this is the part where no matter how awesome my box is, that I get kind of sentimental because I'm like, oh man, this is the last one. Oh man. So let's see what the Super Nintendo game we got. Game number 5, the last one. See what we got. Slowly. I've been lifting them up slowly. Let's pop this one up quickly. Wheels of Fortune Deluxe Edition. I might actually get my wife to play this one with me if it works. She loves playing, you know, Jeopardy and stuff like that with me. We used to play that on the Xbox 360. The Wheel of Fortune. I love watching that game show as a kid, so I've never had a video game version of this. So it's gonna be cool. I wonder if it got Pat Sajak and Vanna White in it. So let's take a look at this one and see how it plays. Wheel of Fortune Deluxe Edition for Super NES is a video game based on the American television game show Wheel of Fortune, created by Merv Griffin. I was excited about this game because my wife enjoys playing, like the only video games she enjoys playing with me are video games based on like, you know, TV shows that involve like puzzles and different things like that. So like she would play Jeopardy with me. So I'm hoping maybe she would play Wheel of Fortune with me as well, now that I have that for the Super Nintendo. All right, looks like Vanna White makes a appearance in the deluxe edition. I know earlier games before this one, she was not in them, but I think starting with one of the versions of NES, she was in it. There's also character avatars you can select. I'm going to select the Mike Epps looking guy here because he's the only black guy, I think. All right, so you get to choose between spinning, a vowel, or solving. So, I mean, the game is just like, you know, actual Wheel of Fortune. I love the avatars. So you spin the wheel, you guess a letter, and you try to solve the puzzle. So if you've ever seen the TV show, you know what to expect here. The presentation is actually interesting for an older game. I love the avatars. All right. Let's see. Before and after. Let's go with H. Yay, the first letter I picked, there were 2 of them. 2 H's. Let's buy a vowel, Vanna.
Choose a letter.
Go with E. Yes, there's several E's. I always loved Wheel of Fortune. My cousins had a board game version of it back in the day. And the board game version was cool, but having to set the game board back up each time, you know, where you guess the letters and reveal the letters, because it had like these little tabs that you pulled. That could be kind of, not painful, but it could take a lot of time to set up. So like, it's like by the time you finish setting up, you didn't know if you really wanted to play the game anymore. But it was still fun, especially when I got to play with my cousins and my sisters as well. You know, the more people we had, the easier it was to set it up. Oh, I thought I lost a turn there. So it has lose a turn, bankrupt, free spin, all that stuff that you see in the game show. And I haven't watched the game show in years, so I don't know if anything has changed. You know, a lot of those, they start to change stuff. Let's see. What L? Oh, there are no L's. All right, Meg's going. I was hoping to go all the way through the first round. Just me controlling the board. But yeah, I wonder if they've added any fun additions to the game. Oh man, she got a free spin. What? That makes me want to watch the game show really soon. I don't even know if Pat Sajak and Vanna White still do it. I don't even know if this is still on TV. With all these streaming services, I should have picked this. I don't watch TV, regular TV that much anymore. I gotta look at the puzzle again. I think I can solve it when it becomes my turn again. If I get that far. I don't know how tough the computer are in this game. All right, come on, Meg. I need you to mess up. Then Elizabeth, I need you to get like bankrupt. Man. It's like bad playing against the computer, it seems. It's like they're gonna get it. Yeah, I knew the last word, and now I know the first word too. Please don't buy a vowel. Oh, she's still spinning. All right, come on, miss it. P. There are no P's. All right, come on, Elizabeth. Mess up. Mess up, Elizabeth. Come on, pick like K or something. Or Q. Oh, man, there's a N. Oh, she bought an O. That's what I want. What? She solved the puzzle? Man, Elizabeth, we did all the work for you. Home run for the Roses. Oh, because it's before and after. Man, Elizabeth got it. So I didn't even get to solve the puzzle. Lame. But anyways, this is fun. Definitely going to keep this one. Definitely hope I can get my wife to play it with me in the near future. Wow, what a box. So all retro games, finally. I finally beat them before they shipped out the games to me. And so by having those 3 consoles selected, they gave me 1 game at least from each one of the consoles. We got 2 NES games, Super Nintendo game, and 2 Sega Genesis games. So I went to price charting, just like always. I checked out the prices of the games that I received, and the only sad thing about this box, the only disappointing thing is I fell a little bit short of the $39.99 that I pay per month for my 4-up subscription. The total value of the 5 games that I received is $32.01. So I'm a few dollars off of, you know, what I pay each month, which is to be expected from time to time, especially with a box of, you know, retro games. You're gonna mostly get them loose and not in the original box. Like NBA Jam, brand new in the original box, is worth $300. I did not, of course, have that edition. So, you know, you're gonna get, you know, with those retro games, different things like that. And so it's to be expected that their values for the most part will be lower unless they're a rare game, like some of the Super Famicom games that I've received so far. But anyways, despite that, still enjoyed this box. It was so cool to finally get some retro games. And so I'm gonna leave the same thing checked for February so we can get some more retro games next month. But then probably starting with the March box, I'll probably start adding back Xbox 360, Xbox One, PlayStation 4, because I would still like to add to the collection that I have for those consoles as well. My original Xbox is still in the shop, which I'm trying to get that back really soon. I gotta call the place. It's been there for months. I don't know what's going on, but once I get that back and it's in good working shape, hopefully, then I can add that to my list as well and start getting games for the original Xbox too. So, another unboxing video for you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I've said Happy New Year in previous videos, but I'll say it again. Happy New Year. Hope your 2023 has started off very well. If you like this video, hit that like button. More unboxing videos coming from me in the near future. The February box should be not too long after this one. I got behind, as you know, with my December box. I just posted it like the other day, and so I'm trying to get this one recorded so I can get this one out at the end of January or early February. Then when the February box comes, I'll finally be back like up to date, so hopefully I can get February's done before the end of February. So yes, another video coming for you very, very soon. Drop me a comment below. Let me know what you thought about the games that I received in this box. Did you like my box? What a funny question. Did y'all like my box? Anyways, did you like the contents that I received in my box? Do you own these games? Are you shocked that I received the games that I did? Drop me a comment below. Let me know what you're thinking. If you're new around here, check out all of my content in addition to VGM unboxing videos. Also do gaming Let's Plays on my channel. Also do gaming shorts on my channel and gaming trailer reactions on my channel. This channel is all about gaming, but I try to offer a variety of gaming options for you guys. Another thing about getting my original Xbox back, I hope to start doing some videos where I kind of talk about some of my favorite games from different consoles. I've been really inspired by my buddy Jay. I know I mentioned him earlier from Square Pegs. He does amazing things on his channel. Go check him out. Subscribe to his channel. I think he's like halfway there to 5,000 subscribers. Like, I mean, he's been gaining them quickly, you know, within the past year. So I'm very proud of him for that. But I've been kind of inspired to do, you know, not the same videos he does, of course. You know, I'm gonna do my own thing, but I like some of the stuff that he puts out, and I want to expand my selection of gaming videos that I offer for you guys. You know, add a little flavor, add some new stuff to keep my channel interesting for you guys. So hopefully I can get that back soon, so you can be on the lookout for those type of videos in the near future. I'm on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, all at Azkhalon. So follow me there for additional content. I don't know where I was going with all of that, talking about the videos I want to make. So if I didn't say subscribe, hit that subscribe button today. Just hit 1,000 subscribers. So I'm just so happy and so thrilled about that. But I would love for you guys, if you haven't subscribed yet, to become a part of the Asgard community. It's an amazing thing. I'm just having a blast, you know, making videos for you guys. Say social media, right? Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, all at Azkhalon. I'm getting like out of order for my closing here. My wife and I have a YouTube channel together called Team Rixie, where we post vacation videos and taste test videos. And then our Instagram page, we post vacation pictures on that channel and sometimes videos. So subscribe to that channel as well if you want to see non-gaming content from me from time to time. And then also go and like and follow us on Instagram. Like, it's follow, I think. Yeah, go follow us on Instagram. I can't keep up with all these different social media sites. Anyways, y'all could have been anywhere in the world today. You could have been at the beach. You could have been downtown shopping. You could have been eating at a fancy restaurant, but you chose to spend some time with your boy Azkhalon, and I greatly appreciate it. Y'all take care. Love each and every one of you. Love all of my Asgardians. Peace.